Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, today we're in Hickory Run in Pennsylvania. Fall colors kind of started to happen a little bit. Not yet, but I wanted to get out here and shake the dust off my camera. More importantly, is I wanted to talk to you guys about polarizers today and how polarizers are basically the secret sauce of any landscape photography. Let's go. Have you ever taken what you thought was going to be the perfect fall photo? Orange leaves, red leaves, crisp blue sky, maybe some reflections in the water. And then you look at your camera and you're like, it just doesn't look good. The colors look flat, the glare is distracting, and you just don't capture what your eyes saw. So today I'm going to show you how to use a circular polarizer to fix that problem and take your photography from average to awesome. So what does this little filter actually do? Think of it as sunglasses for your camera, and it does three things. It boosts color and contrast, removes reflections, and also enhances the blue sky. So fall colors, those fiery reds, golden yellows, and deep oranges, they all look more saturated with a polarizer. They actually feel more alive. It's like turning up the volume on autumn itself. It cuts reflections. If you're shooting in the rain or near water, you'll notice reflections bouncing all over the place. A polarizer helps you cut through the glare and lets you see the details underneath. Point your lens at the sky, rotate the filter, and suddenly the blue sky is deeper, the clouds really pop, and your composition has way more drama. So using one of these is actually super simple, but there's three things you need to know. First, you need to get the right size for your camera. If you look on the front of your camera, you'll see what your filter thread size is, and make sure you get the right size for it. Some photographers are actually going to tell you to get a bigger one and then use step-up rings. If you want, get one filter to rule them all. Except I actually don't like to do that because these are kind of pretty affordable in my opinion. So I like to get one for each lens. So if I change lenses, I don't have to mess around with also changing the filter. So this is where the magic happens. So the lens actually has two rings on it. The first ring locks into the camera and the second ring actually has the glass, and that's what causes the effect. And as you rotate the lens, you'll see reflections disappear and you also see the colors intensify. Rotate it slowly so you can get a feel for what the effect is actually going to be like. There is a sweet spot angle when using a polarizer, and that's going to be 90 degrees. So your subject wants to be facing 90 degrees away from the sun. So if the sun is to your back or you're facing directly into the sun, that's not going to work. So you want to be 90 degrees away from the sun to get your best effect. So since this filter blocks out about 1 to 2 stops of light, you're going to have to bump up your exposure a little bit. You're going to have to open up your f-stop if you need to, change your shutter speed, maybe give yourself some ISO, but you're going to have to compensate for those 1 to 2 stops of light loss. So there's actually 3 common mistakes that you can make with a polarizer, and the first one is actually overpolarization. So yeah, the polarizer takes out a lot of reflections, but sometimes you want some reflections in the photo. So I think if you're going to use it, just experiment. Maybe not take out all the reflections, maybe just leave a little bit of a reflection in there. So the second mistake is a real easy one, and that's just using a polarizer with a wide-angle lens. When you use a wide-angle lens with a polarizer, you're going to see a dark splotch or a dark stripe that's actually going to go through the actual frame. So you can fix that in Photoshop. It's pretty easy to do, but that's just something to be careful of. So the last common mistake with a polarizer, and I actually do this all the time, I leave my polarizer on the camera all the time and forget about it, is trying to use it when you're doing photography inside. A polarizer is going to cut light, so it's going to make it difficult when you're doing photography inside, and you need all the light that you normally can find when you're doing photography inside. So just remember, if you're working inside or you're working in a really dark environment, a polarizer may actually hinder you getting a proper exposure. So that's it for today's video on the circular polarizer or the CPL, and just a few more things I want to run over. And the first thing is, make sure you buy a good quality one. There are some cheap ones on Amazon and they could degrade the image quality, so get something middle of the range, $60, $70, $80 from a name brand. Make sure you keep it clean, and that's really important. Smudges and everything else will show up on the CPL. Make sure if you're going to stack it on a wide angle lens, you might see some vignetting around the corners. So just keep an eye on that. And the other thing to remember too is if you're going to use it outside and you're going to use it for sky vistas, you might actually see some blotches or some banding in it. That's just the nature of how a CPL works because light's bouncing everywhere. Thanks for watching the channel, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.